A little bit of a YouTube fart scene there. I don't know what the world happened there. So let me pull up the one that's actually live, and then we'll get this stream going. I have a song that I'm going to play as well. I also have to go and delete the one that did not work. So sometimes YouTube decides, oh, hey, let's give him issues. And apparently today was one of those days where they're like, hey, let's give him issues. And immediately when I started the stream, it goes, oh yeah, sorry dude, like 403 error or something like that. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Ugh. Makes me want to rage, but hey, it's okay. Alright, so right now as it stands, the PE2 31 is actually faster. I do believe, yes, 329 mile an hour compared to my 295 mile an hour aircraft, but we don't have it upgraded all the way yet, so we're working on that right now. We'll get that going, and we'll go from there. But once we get into a match, you guys are gonna see what's going on. Alright, so oh dear God, I hate when they do these. Preparing for the landing on Hockey Arena. You know, eventually I want to do some like really, really cool really know how to say it. Some really, really cool things. Yeah, no. Goodbye. Alright, so we're up here. They can't really see us. The bases are spawning in, so I'm gonna turn off and kind of go this way. There's a reason behind that. Alright, well, dude, I'm gonna hit this one. So here we go. This actually is a song dedicated to the Polish, because that's what they were called, is the Aces in Exile. But we're in Russian planes, so it'll work. Oh, right on the tower.
Let me tell you, working on a game engine, there are so many different terms to keep track of, and that's where...
Okay, well, luckily I'm not working on that, are we? Now, this is a good song. I love this song. Now, most of this stuff's gonna get copyrighted, but if I'm being honest, guys, as long as, like, it doesn't get struck away where, like, you can't play it in certain countries, I'm not really too worried about copyright. And this is a dedicated to the Russian soldiers of World War I, I do believe. So this fits. You're down. If this big old scope wasn't in my way, I could actually see where I'm going. Nice and easy, boys. Nice and easy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you land in a cockpit that probably shouldn't even be able to be landed in.
I know how to make slick-looking goggle/glasses, but I have no idea how to make...
Okay, we're not listening to Metal Machine. That thing is, ugh. It's a good song, but why listen to that when we're playing Russia? Defense of Moscow is such a good song. Let us take off. first time I've ever seen a wyvern actually make it the whole match. You're up. I'd honestly love to own an island this size. I'm being bait right now. Anyway,
if you love binge
that is a
watching
very
and you
good
hate
song.
being
I love
interrupted
that
by
song.
ads, you need Pi. It's a free browser extension that blocks ads on your phone.
Okay, we get it. Shut up. Why do I get the feeling the wyvern's trying to get me? It seems like he's trying to intercept me. And I know he's faster than me, so... Yeah, he's about to dive on me. Here he comes. And there it goes. Well, I tried. Gotta love how your team just completely abandons you. Wait, hold on. Is that a Gooner skin on that plane? That sure is. Oh my god. I'm just so disappointed in that team. It sucks. Alright, well, we're not in tanks, so that's obviously not going to be the song for me, is it? And nobody's online that really wants to play, so... The only big difference I see that they make with these PEs is they get rid of like that weird opening and they put the turret in the back, and it looks really good. Ooh, I like that camo, that's nice. That's 250s. The 500s. So I'm willing to bet the big bomb is the last modification. And I was right. Now, for those of you who are wondering, well, what am I going to do after that, after I get the P8? I'm going to go on ahead and get the X3P, the red one. Very nice, by the way. I like the red one. It looks nice. Then the Yak 9P. And then, let's see. After that, I've been kind of thinking about it, and you know, I don't see a reason to just rush to jets until I'm really comfortable with it. So the 1225 will be the next plane. Oh, look, we won. They must have shot him down, which is a blessing, by the way. It's actually a very good thing. But the 1225 will be next thing. The Yak 3P and the Yak 9P. Then we'll go to the LA7 B20. Then we'll get the SU6 AM42, the modified version. Now, obviously, a lot of y'all have noticed that I have like all the ILs and stuff, and I don't use them. There's a reason behind that. I personally prefer the PE2s. I do plan on eventually getting the ILs and leveling every single one of them up. I just have to get my fighters and stuff leveled up first. And right now I'm kind of taking a break off the fighters, and I'm kind of leveling up my bombers. Because as you can see, I have the PE2-1 leveled up. I have the IL4, the DB3B leveled up. I have the PE2-31 leveled up, so now I'm working on the PE2-83, and then I have to get both of the year 2s that I have leveled up. And then if I decide to, which I don't know if I will or not, I'm going to get the other PE2s, slip them somewhere in here, and level them up. Now, I'm kind of saving money for fighters because of the fact that even though, yes, I am unlocking the whole tech tree for Russia, for the whole aviation tech tree, and I'm doing kind of sort of the same thing for the tanks. I'm only planning on messing with the fighter aircraft when it comes to jets, and it's not going to be me messing with fighter aircraft for the entire period. I don't plan on grinding out to get the Su-30. I'm not drooling over that jet personally. For me, I'm okay with just grinding out to get the MiG-21 and then ending it there. With my play style, I use bombs more than I do anything else, so I already know. Like, if you've ever watched me play any jets on this channel at all, you'll know that I always grab a bomb on any plane that has a bomb, and I try to, fly out of the map more or less, bomb targets, and then I'll put like air, the special shells in the gun once I get them upgraded to where it's for air targets, and then like I'll go and dogfight afterwards. I'm being that multitasking fighter and using the fighters for both purposes, but I'm doing the bombing first, so even if I do die doing the dogfighting, I still have something that I can come out of that battle with. So it's I know a lot of people are like, oh, so you're a cast player. No, I don't. If you've ever looked at any of my loadouts, matter of fact, hold on. These are custom loadouts for custom battles and stuff. This is normally the custom loadout that I use. Now, I modified it for the doing custom battles, but I do have the T-26 right here that I have, and I have a few other tanks. I have no planes that I use for any of my I don't use planes at all. I'll use them at low tier, like if I ever play 2.7 in America, I'll bring out the Corsair with the 1,000 pounder. I'm pretty decent with it. But other than that, you won't really see me messing too much with close air support. I'm not really good at it. Even when I do close air support, when we do customs, I still suck at it. So like for me, it just doesn't seem like it's worth the time or the effort to really mess with it. So, but yeah. But for me, I know I see a lot of people talking about how, they'll grind out a tech tree and, then they'll go and grind out another tech tree. For me, that's where people are really messing up. They're not taking the time to actually have a little bit of fun with the game. For me, I started playing Russia because I figured Russia would be the easiest way to get to Israel. The Israeli tanks is what I got the game and started playing with it on my second account, kind of sort of for. I played through Israel for a little while, and when I was playing it and everything, I was having fun, but I got up to about 8-0, and I found out that there are a lot of sweaty people at 8-0. So I just decided, you know what? I don't want I just decided that I didn't really want to mess with it. I was playing an 8-0 match one day, and because of the fact that this shared him with the 76 pulled up beside me, and I think it was my Magok with the ERA, the premium one. I had bought it for Christmas, and I was using it to grind out to 8-0, and it worked pretty darn decently, actually. I was playing a match with it in Israel one day, and he pulled up beside me. Now, a lot of y'all know, and if you're new to the channel and you don't know, I always run with max ammo. When I play tanks, I always run with max ammo. I've always made the joke that if I was going to go and explode or whatever, that I was going to go out with a bang or whatever, and it was going to look so pretty. And it's always been something that I've kind of joked around about and made, poked a little bit of fun at, just because that's quite literally what it is. It's me joking around. I don't really care if I get exploded. I'm having fun. That's all that matters to me. And one day I was playing 8-0. I had max ammunition, and I got shot by a T-50. I think it was a T-54 that I did not see. Now this is what really pisses me off. I was aiming at a tiger, getting ready to fire at him. I think it was a Tiger 2, and I was getting ready to fire at him, and immediately, a T-54 out of nowhere shoots me and explodes my ammunition. This idiot pulls up right beside me right before this happens, blows up, and then proceeds to blame it on me that he exploded. And it's like, dude, you parked your tank right next to me in a light tank. I'm in a medium tank. I automatically carry more ammunition than you do. And he ended up calling me a inbred pig fuck, I believe is what he ended up calling me. And I haven't messed with Israel really that much since. He kind of ruined it for me. I mean, I still play like a match of them here and there every now and then, but it's not very often that I do, because of the fact that that guy really upset me with that comment, and every time I play it kind of pops into my head, and I don't really play it too much. Because I honestly, I cannot get it through my head how it is that he can figure that it's my fault that he pulled up beside me and decided that it was a good idea to just freaking... What version of P2 is that guy in? 110. Okay, so he's in the upgraded version. But, yeah, ever since that day, I haven't really messed with Israel that much. Like, I'm really close to getting a new Magok. It's an 8.0 Magok, and I'm really excited for it. But at the same time, I don't even have all the tanks that I have right now for Israel leveled up. So it's like... not even really worth my time to really get it, if that makes sense. And I don't play enough of Israel to really worry about it anyway. Like, I'm so focused on trying to get everyone else leveled up to that point to where, like, I think right now, I know I have America basically right where I was when my old account got shut down for PlayStation. My PlayStation old account wasn't really mine, it was my dad's, and I basically took it over. If you noticed, I actually used to stream. Some of my first streams were on my dad's account, and when my dad's account got shut down, I created this account, and some of my first streams were experienced War Thunder player restarts the grind. And I wasn't really that experienced, but I had enough experience that I made it all the way up to 6-7 in Germany. And I was pretty darn decent at playing tanks. I'm still, in my opinion, I'm decent, but my opinion on the Tigers and the Tiger 2s have definitely changed since playing War Thunder. Like, in reality, like in real life, yes, I imagine that the Tiger was probably, and the Tiger 2 was probably a really formidable tank. But in War Thunder, it is a very difficult tank to use because everything that you face can kill you. Whereas in World War II, the Tigers and the Tiger 2s didn't really have that issue. I mean, Tiger 131, for instance, if I remember correctly, it was a lucky Churchill shot, and it took out the turret ring. It was a lucky shot to the turret ring that rendered it useless, and that was the whole reason that they jumped out. And then the commander was supposed to click the self-destruct button, and he forgot because he was bailing out of the tank, and he never pushed it, and that's how Tiger 131 is in existence, and still, you know, runs on some of the like original parts and everything. And it's like a really cool story behind that plane, or not plane, that tank. But in War Thunder, the Tigers and the Tiger 2s, they don't play like they would in real life. They don't work like they would in real life. You can't eat a shell from a 76 millimeter gun on a Tiger. But one of the funny things is, American tanks, the American 76, if I remember correctly, it still had issues pinning the Tiger 2, or the Tiger. I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong. But if you've ever watched the movie Fury, when they were firing the shells and stuff, and aiming for the front gun, by the way, all it was doing was really bouncing off the front of the tank. It's a real thing. That's actually what would have happened. The 76 mil couldn't really go through, but you get a decent side shot, you can kill a Tiger. But yeah, I don't know. To me, it just feels like War Thunder intentionally. Like, if anyone's paid attention with the recent new update, when they added the F-18, they did something to all NATO tanks. I think they did it to the Challenger. I think the Challenger's a NATO tank. I'll have to look that up. I know they did it to the Leopard and the Abrams. But if you pay attention, oh wow, that guy died. Everybody died. Okay, so I'm the last person standing against 3 dudes that I'm not even going to attempt to go after. Great. But the thing that I find interesting is that they updated the Abrams and the Leopards, later Leopards, like the NATO Leopards, to where their turret ring is now the whole turret basket, and it's labeled as such. So if you shoot anywhere there and you hit the turret basket, it completely disables the Abrams and the Leopards. And to me, it's just Gaijin's way of yet again showing us that they have Russian bias. And see, people talk about in this game a lot that you know, the game is full of Russian bias, and they say it a lot when they're playing tanks and stuff. You don't really see it when you're playing the game, but it's updates like that where you really see that they have Russian bias. Because, I mean, come on. Like, making a turret basket the entire, like, turret drive, really? That's just making that tank more vulnerable. And a lot of people were talking about how the Abrams wasn't even really that good of a tank anyway, and it was like a really big struggle to try and play the tank. You had to really know what you were doing in order to play it. And it's honestly the truth. The Leopard and the Abrams requires a lot of skill in order to play in this game, whereas Russian tanks don't really require a lot of skill, you know, just because of the amount of armor that they have on them, which is why I really don't care about getting, you know, to high tier Russia, because it just feels like it would be unfair. But to me, and for me, I feel like Gaijin shows Russian bias when they do updates like that. Like, nobody asked for the Su-30, but yet we got it, right? Nobody asked for it, but yet we asked for the F-18. They released it, and apparently it was a really buggy aircraft. Like, it was very, very buggy. And when people found out about how buggy it was, like, they immediately started ranting and raving about how buggy it was. And meanwhile, you know, like, they show, to me, they show bias in the updates. They don't really show it in the game itself. Because if we did it by the game itself, okay, I was playing a custom last night, an IS-2, powered by probably one of the biggest tryhards of my channel that plays with us in customs, and I allow him to because he's a really skilled player, and you know, people call him a tryhard, but in my opinion, he's just playing the game really well. His name is Haku. We know him as Haku. He shoots my friend Jay, who is in a Panther F. Guys, a Panther F. Now, we know that the freaking... That made you back off, didn't it? Go on somewhere, dude. But, the Panther F gets shot by the 122 and immediately... Dude, you're not gonna hit me from that far off. I'm too fast. But he immediately, like, the Panther F eats the shell, and it's like, Haku immediately goes, "Oh yeah, that's just German bias," and it's the truth. You know, in the game, you run into bias on all sides at times. So if we look at it by what people are saying, that the game, when you're playing it, shows Russian bias, it's a bunch of BS, because every nation has that one moment where it's like, you know, every nation has that one point where it's like, oh, it's cool, you're good average, it's fine. I still gotta drop my bombs. Here we go. There they go. But anyway, let's go on ahead and head home. There we go. Now I want to book it out of here before they get here. I just want points. I don't really care about anything else. But if we base it off of you know, what people are saying that it shows it in the game, it's a buttload of crap. But you do see it when they do updates. Like, they'll add like big Russian cannons and stuff like that to the game, and it's like, why is that useful? How is that useful? You know, things like that start getting questioned. Dude, where is this other dude at? Come on. There's two of you, I know there is. So where's the other dude at? I can't shoot those. I mean, I could try, but it probably wouldn't go well. we go. Uh-oh, we got an oil leak. We'll be fine. We'll make it home. Unless the planes show up. And there he is. He already knows, though, that he can't really kill me or keep up with me, so I'll be fine. So we're going to lose engine 2, I believe. It's going to lose the oil. We'll be fine, though. As long as I keep altitude, I think we'll be fine. Uh-oh. What's this other one coming at me? Oh, God. How did he make it out alive? How is it that of all the aircraft that could have come after me, it had to be that one? I'm gonna die here, guys. I already can tell you that, because that guy's got more cannons than I know what to do with here. Yep, here he comes. But that don't mean that I can not try. Which there's no need, because here I go. Boom. But, I hate B7A2 players, because, like, they try way too hard. But, the whole point is, you don't really see it that much in the game, as you can see. You see it more when you see updates and stuff going on, rather than other things. So, you know, when I hear somebody say, oh, that's Russian bias, I just hear, oh, I can't play the game worth of crap, so I'm going to blame it on Russian bias. It has nothing to do with Russian bias. It's just the fact that the game is catered to Russian players, or the people who really love Russian stuff. Because, hello, Chris. I mean, look at their tech tree for jets. Now, everyone knows, I do believe that I think it is actually America who has the most jets. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure America has the most jets out of any tech tree in the game. But when you look at tanks, I kind of feel like Germany has the most tanks in the game, to be honest. Of course, I could be wrong on that. Like, I could honestly look up the statistics and stuff on that too, but it would be a waste of my time, so... But when I hear people talk about how, you know, Russia shows bias and stuff, I'm like, what? Excuse me? Where are you getting this nonsense information? But yay, I can finally start putting research into the P8. That's nice, right? Yeah. I'm not going to do that one until after I get the other P2, though. And then once I do that, then we'll put research into the P8. And then we'll go work on my fighters. Unless I decide I want the year 2s, which that's always a possibility too. Which, by the way, the year 2 is actually my next, the year 2 is actually my next vehicle I have to grind out, so. And, for those of you who play bombers as a grinding tool, my advice to you, once you hit about probably 2.7, and I say 2.7 because that is when planes start actually being able to climb up to your altitude to kill you. When you spawn in, watch what I do when I spawn in. All right. Once I figure out where the bases are, okay. So there's 1, there's 2. All right. So we know that they're there. Fly out of the map. Just fly out of it. Don't even freaking head towards it. Don't do that. You're risking getting yourself shot down. Because people will fly up to your altitude and they will light you up like a Christmas tree.
Attention to the map.
I've had it happen to me. I used to play the Wellingtons a lot. A lot of y'all know that the British have the Wellingtons. That's what made me stop messing with the Wellingtons a lot. Because of the fact that I would try and head directly for a base, and the B-25s have the same issue. I would head directly for a base. I'd have people climbing to my altitude at 4.0. I think the first Wellington's at like 2.3. I think I'd have people climbing up to my altitude at that BR and murdering me before I could even get to the base. And it pissed me off to a point that I honestly contemplated and thought about just completely not messing with bombers anymore. Now, in America, I've got all my B-17s that I had. I don't have the B-17G yet. I still want to get that. I don't have as many bombers in Britain as I used to. For Britain, I had all the Wellingtons, and then I had that very first 4-engine bomber that they give you at the higher BR. I can't remember what it's called. Not the Lancaster. I think it's the Halifax. That one. I had that one, and again, I tried playing it, flying directly to a base. I still died. It's not a good strategy, guys. It's never a good strategy. Don't use it. Now, I want to grind out to get the Lancaster, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh yeah, he's going to get the Lancaster, woohoo, big bomb. I don't really care about the bigger bombs. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm using the biggest bombs that I can strap onto this aircraft. You're not going to see me do that with the P-8. If I decide to grab, if I decide to get the P-8, you'll probably see me mess more or less with the 1000s instead of the 5000. Nuh-uh. But a word of caution with the strategy. A word of caution with the strategy that I said for you guys to use. When you use that strategy, there is a very high possibility that you will end up being the last player on your team. Every time that I do my strategy and use my strategy, 9 times out of 10, I end up being the last player on my team. And it's not by choice, it's just the fact that everybody else is rushing in, they're getting themselves killed, and they're not trying to really play strategically. So they end up getting themselves completely obliterated. Or did the IL-2 just... Okay. That was an interesting sight to behold. But like I said, I don't use close air support very often. Like, I will obviously, like everybody knows, I grind out like every piece of equipment on an airplane that I can get. And it's just the way I've always done. Same thing with the tech trees. I get every vehicle. I've had people come into my streams before and go, why don't you just like do the quickest route to getting a jet or something like that? And my answer to them is because I like flying the planes before I get to the jets. Like this PE-2, for instance. I used to hate PE-2s. I love this thing. Alright, you learn to love an aircraft when you actually appreciate it and you use it appropriately. This thing is a great plane, and I would definitely highly recommend it for bombing. Like, if you want to use it for close air support, I'd probably, if you wanted to do that, I'd probably get the ones that are in like the IL-2 line. Because if I remember correctly, they come with decent bombs, same as this one does. It doesn't come with a bomber scope though, but most of the ones that are in that line actually come with a decent armament on it, instead of just having a 50 cal and a 30 cal. So, you know, that is something to look into. Every line in the tech tree has a purpose. Like, if I'm honestly thinking correctly, a lot of times I feel like the middle line is an interceptor line in the game. But also, can we talk about the fact that this thing really reminds me of like a mini B-17? Like, if you really think about it, this is Russia's mini B-17. I mean, it's got the side gunners, which B-17 does have. It has the bottom gunner. B-17 has that. It doesn't have the turret, of course. It has the bottom, the top gunner back there. B-17 has that, if you pay attention to the early variants. And the later variants, I think, have it as well. And it's got a forward-firing gun, which there's not a dude there, so that's kind of unrealistic for a B-17. But anyway, I honestly, actually, excuse me, I'd be quicker to call the year 2's mini B-17s, actually, because they actually look more,
I agree.
a Temu B-17. No, the PE-8 is basically Russia's version of a B-17. If you pay attention to it and all, the design is a lot like the B-17. 4 engines, decent armament, really able to take a lot of damage. Oh, dear God, I'm going to get murdered. I'm getting chased down right now. Bro is honestly spawn camping the base. Okay, well, you're gonna get led into the base, moron. Yeah, I figured you'd break off. He's gonna try and spawn camp the base. Now, you want to talk about a Temu B-17? The Japanese have like some bombers, 4-engine ones, and they are so stupid looking. They honestly look like airliners that were converted into bombers, is what they look like to me. It's honestly what they remind me of, is like airliners that were converted over into a bomber. Because you got to think about it, like every nation actually did something like that. If you look at like the B-18 or the B-10, I think. I don't remember which one it is. I have to look at it when I get back to the hangar. For America, it's that first like twin engine. I think it's the first twin engine bomber. It might be the second. I don't remember. It's one of the twin engine bombers that like the first tier that you get. And if you really pay attention to it, that thing is designed to be an airliner. Like, if you look at the design of it and everything, it's not built to be a bomber. They slapped, like, a gun turret and stuff on it. But if you look at it, it was originally meant to be an airliner. And fun fact, the HE-111 was actually supposed to be identified when they were creating it and everything. They actually labeled it as an airliner. But it was actually secretly a bomber, but they labeled it as an airliner so that they wouldn't get in trouble for building a bomber. And now people joke around about how it's a civilian airliner, and it's like, no. I mean, I can see an HE-111 being converted into an airliner, if I'm being honest. Like, I can honestly see it happening. And I honestly think with the nose design and everything, I honestly think it would be a really good idea for the HE-111, making it an airliner. But there's certain planes that I feel like if we converted them over to airliners, it wouldn't work. The B-17 being one of them. I've been close enough to a B-17, I've gotten a look at it. There is not enough space in a B-17 to call it an airliner. Because the way that the B-17 is designed, the pilot and the co-pilot sit on their own floor, right? The navigational officer, also rear top gunner, that guy. There. So when I say that, there's a dude that's in the ball turret behind the pilot and co-pilot. He's just the turret operator. There's a navigational officer who operates a machine gun that's behind that gun, and it just sticks out. And if you look at like the B-17E or the EL in game, you can see the machine gun and it sticks out. And on the early variants, it was an open space. Later, they put a glass window there, and it just sat there waiting for the radio operator to have to use it. And then there's the bottom floor, and on the bottom floor, you have your it's just basically the rest of the plane. You have your bomb bay doors with your bomb hold. You have your forward bombardier and stuff, who also operates the forward guns. You have the tail or the waist gunner, the tail gunner, the ball turret gunner. You have all these guys on the bottom floor. So like you got like probably about 4 dudes on the top section, and then you have like everybody else is in that bottom section. But the B-17, what a lot of people I feel like don't appreciate about the B-17, it's built like a fortress. That's why they call it the Flying Fortress, is because of the fact that that's what it is. It was built like a fortress. Like that thing could lose 2 engines, operate with 1 feathering, 1 completely working, and still somehow make it back to an airfield, land, get fixed, be put together, and be ready to go the next day or within a week. You know, it was that plane that even though, yes, it could be ripped apart, it could still fly home. It was easy to fix, and it was just that really good aircraft, in my opinion. Now, the B-25, I like to call it the mini B-17, because if you really look at it, there's really not that much of a difference between the B-17 and the B-25, except for the fact that the B-25 does not have a bottom gunner or the tail or the ball turret gunner, but he has forward firing guns. He has the ball turret gunner on the top. It's not ball turret, but it's a turret gunner on the top. Like, he has all the fancy smancy stuff. It's just that, he doesn't have some things. Bro, I don't know why you're climbing, because that's not going to help you. Well, actually, with me having bombs strapped to me, it actually might, but here he comes. I'm on fire, I gotta cut the engine. Alright, pretty boy. Come on, fire, 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 fire. Come on, put the fire out. Oh, come on! Dude! What's the use in having self-sealing fuel tanks if they never work? Oh well. Alright, now I gotta find that plane I was talking about, because now that's gonna drive me nuts not knowing what plane I was talking about. The B-18, that's what it was. Yeah. Tell me this thing don't look like a airliner that they converted over. That's exactly what that thing is. An airliner that was converted over to a bomber. Like, it doesn't have a tail gunner. It has, like, those two little dudes. The one dude there, the dude there. Like, this is definitely, like, what I would like to call is definitely what I would definitely call a, airliner converted to bomber. Definitely. We're gonna have to do like a whole day one day where we just go through and just look at different planes and be like, oh, yep, we can turn that into an airliner. Apparently the year 2, from what I've read, was supposed to originally be an airliner. And they were actually going to make it one, or it was originally supposed to be one, and then the war broke out, and then they turned it into a bomber, which is actually crazy, because I can look at it, and I can actually imagine it being an airliner, like with the cool looking cockpit and everything. Like, I can imagine that being like the early versions of like the 747 or something like that. That's actually really cool. The LU. Does that stand for loser? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm stupid sometimes. You gotta forgive me. But yeah, once we get this particular PE2, which I don't even know what kind of bomb load it carries. Oh, it carries a lot. Okay, we're good then. Once we get it, we'll get the P8, and then I'm thinking about maybe getting the year 2s, just to go on ahead and get them. Because I don't really think that there's much of a difference between the year 2s and I really don't think there's much of a difference between the year 2s as far as engine power, except for this one. Like, this one, obviously, they finally add like the really weird cockpit. I don't like the front cockpit on the year 2. This one, I really don't like it. It looks so butt ugly. I hate it with a passion. But plan is we're gonna get the P8. I'll either grind out. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see how much research points. 46. So we might go by research points first. So we'll grab the year 2s, and then we'll just go over to the yaks. Kind of take a break for a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. I might just go ahead and get the yaks. I don't know. We'll see. As I said. But anyway, I have to run to the restroom, so I'm gonna go AFK for a little bit. So when I return, we will continue the grind on the bombers. Oh, would you look at that? I unlocked something else. Nothing new or unusual there. I always unlock something even when I don't really try too hard. Well, I have to do one more match with the PE2, and then we'll be completely ready to go. So if you guys will give me just a little bit, I have to go do a few things for my mom right quick, and I have to get my brother up and get his food ready for him. After that, we'll continue to do the thing, but I gotta go take a picture of the hood and the dash and everything for my mom, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back for at least a little bit. Let me do this mission and then we'll see. The other thing that gets me though, I've said it once and I'll say it again. It amazes me how nobody wants anything to do with me until they want to use me. Like, he doesn't even bother to freaking, try to contact me. And, the person I'm talking about is British Man. Now, a lot of y'all may know, I used to do cinematics with him and help him out. Now, it seems that since he's gotten on that new radio announcer thing, he's, like I figured, forgotten
Attention to the designated grid square.
he's gotten to where he doesn't contact me until he absolutely needs something or something like that. So I think I'm gonna start being like a lot of people. And I know for a fact, and you know, if you're listening to this and you're watching it later, if you're at school or something, this is not involving you. So that means SMFA, Maxwell, all y'all, or Max, whatever. This is not involving y'all. This is just at British Man, because I know for a fact right now he is streaming and he hasn't bothered to contact me since he told me about that whole talk show thing. And I told him that basically I gave him my opinion that I felt that it was going to be just like it normally was and I was going to be forgotten all about. Because of a little bit of fame. And ever since then he hasn't bothered to contact me or anything. So as I said, and as I will continue to say, people will use you for everything they can get their hands on. Guys, my advice to you is don't let people use you. Don't let people do you like they do me. Alright, my kindness is what screws me over every time. Because I'm too kind to tell people no. At times. I'm too kind to look at them in the face and say, no, you're not going to do me that way. I don't know. It just rubs me wrong when people use me. I know that sounds so corny and stupid to some people, but it's the truth. I hate it when people use me to get famous or whatever and then completely forget I exist. Like, you know, don't get me wrong. I want people to, like, if you have a YouTube channel and you want very much bad to, you know, become famous or whatever, you know, that's your thing, you know, whatever. But what pisses me off is when people get famous by using me and then they forget that I helped them with that. They don't give me credit for what I helped them with, and it upsets me. Like, you guys know the little avatar that I created. That was because of British Man. Alright, it was thanks to him that I was able to create that, but I didn't use it because nobody really liked the idea of me using it. So I didn't use it unless I decide to do a Q&A or something like that, which I think when we hit 350 subscribers, I'll probably do a Q&A. But you guys are going to have to actually ask questions and not sit around and do nothing. So and there's like a lot of other people that I just feel like, you know, they don't know me until, like, I have some very loyal people, though, in my channel, and I will say this. People like SMFA, he's a very, very loyal subscriber. I've had Jay in my channel, Big Dog, he's, you know, been... Jay and Big Dog have been a part of this channel before the channel even started, so, you know, they're a very big part of the channel. Haku's been a pretty decent, pretty loyal. We've got like so many different like loyal subscribers and stuff, and then we've got people that'll subscribe to me just to make me happy, and then they'll get whatever they want from me, and then they'll freaking leave me in the dust and they don't give a crap about me anymore. And those are the people I cannot stand. Those are the people I lose respect for. When you use somebody, it's not right. Alright, so those of you who don't know, British Man has asked me several times to help him with cinematics. I helped him out for a little while, and, you know, we had a good thing going. I'd give him ideas on cinematics we could do and stuff. You know, really cool cinematics, too. Like, really, really cool ones that we could do. And for a while, I was like, oh, this is going to work. We're going to do cool things. Nope. Now he's this big, fancy talk show introducer or some kind of crap like that. And he forgot all about me. It's alright, though. Ain't the first time I've been forgotten. Ain't going to be the last. Great. Yeah, I'm right here, boys. Come on.
Keep it up and victory will be ours.
And just let the AA guns take care of the issue. So I can go bomb the target that I need to bomb. Boy, he left real fast, didn't he? I'm not base camping, it's just that I'm not gonna freaking fly out of my base while there's somebody waiting on me to fly out of my base and away from the AA gun protection. And I'm not flying out and away from this base while there's, because that takes care of that idiot. So, as long as I have 57 minutes, I'm going to keep flying around. Bro apparently forgot that I was right here at my airfield. And apparently I forgot that I was right here at my airfield too, because I'm about to die. Yep. I try to keep myself alive and I still fail. But I killed 2 of them with the AA guns. So... No, this time the enemy just proved that they're a little freaking try-hard. That's all they proved. Alright, so the next plane I'm going to grab is the Year 2 M105. So when I get back, I am going to do that. But I have to go feed my brother first. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, that will be in the next stream, which will hopefully be tonight. Or later on today, depending on how I feel. I am going to start grinding out bombers again. So, for those of you who are wondering, yes, as you can see, the Halifax is right here. This is the bomber that I had at one point, the Halifax. It doesn't really carry a decent bomb load, in my opinion, but... I mean, it carries a bomb load. A bomb load. And then the Sterling, and then we go to the Lancaster at 5.3. So, the plan is we're basically going to use the Wellingtons to, which, if I'm thinking correctly, the Wellingtons are all right here. Yes. Alright, so, let's see, 2, 3, 1. I still don't have leveled up all the way, as you can see, so... We'll obviously be using the 250s until I can get the, I think it carries 100s. Yeah, it carries 2 1000s and then the 250s, of course. So we'll use the 250s, then we'll get the 500s and stuff. Once we get the Wellingtons leveled up for, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind out the Year 2s. I'm going to get the P8, and then I'm going to take a break from Russia for a little while, and I'm going to go over to Britain and try and get some of the planes and stuff that I had over there. And then Germany's another nation that I really need to grind out and get the planes with, because I had all the way up to the ME-264 when I was playing for Germany, and it was a blast to have such a decent bomb load at one point, and it hurts me a little bit to know that I no longer have that. So yeah, sad. And apparently, from what I understand, they've added a nice big old bomb to the Ju-87 here, so we'll be grinding that out eventually too. But, you know, we'll work on that later. And then America, of course, as I said, I've basically gotten America right back to where we had them. So, we're not too worried about them. So, yeah, we'll work on Russia when I come back. So, I hope everybody has a lovely day. And remember, you mess with the wolf, you get the fangs. Y'all have a good one.